Hello everyone, my name is Wansee TV and I'm going to be reacting to Dwayne Jazz reacting to Walkie Entertainment 9 Horror Stories Animated Compilation Part 1. And also most likely we'll be doing more reaction videos, and also there is a Jazz Gun's Funniest and Most Savage Moments video coming up too, so let's go.
How's it going today, Lord? Let's get my name is Dwayne.
My name's Jazz.
We're Dwayne and Jazz, so we have 9 Horror Stories Animated Compilation, July 2019.
Yes.
Did anyone just see the B up in his name?
Please follow us on social media, and the link is below. Don't forget to
subscribe.
Let's dive on. My uncle saw my family's doppelganger.
I'm 21 years old now. This happened to my uncle when I was around 9 years old.
Okay.
My uncle was living in our house and was staying at our vacant guest room up on the 2nd floor. He's my dad's cousin, so he was really close to our family. My uncle was a morning person. He would always get up at around 4 a.m., drink coffee, and run morning errands around the house.
Get up at 4?
He also told us that he could see and feel ghosts because he has a third eye.
Okay,
To give you a little background on our house.
No, I think he's serious.
It was the very first house that was built on our street. We could sometimes feel something moving around our house, especially at night, but we never really paid attention to it. One morning, my uncle woke up at his usual time, around 4 a.m. He left his room, which was right beside the staircase, saw my older sister, who was 17 years old at that time, going up the stairs with a cup of coffee in her hand. The weird thing was, he said that my sister was looking down and not showing her face the whole time. He greeted her with, "Good morning, and why are you up so early?"
With a cup of coffee.
He said my sister just kept walking up while looking down and ignoring him.
Okay.
My uncle felt awkward as my sister just walked past him. He ignored it, thinking my sister was in a really bad mood. He thought she probably stayed up late studying or something. My uncle went down to grab a cup of coffee when he saw my mother in the living room, ironing some clothes.
I was like, uh-oh.
My uncle was confused about why my mother was up at 4 a.m. and ironing clothes.
He was like, why is everybody up right now?
He tried to talk to her and asked the same thing he asked my sister. "Why are you up so early?" He noticed that my mother was wearing the same clothes from the night before she went to bed, so he knew it was her. To his surprise, my mother ignored him. My mother never ignored anyone, which is why he found it strange. My mother was just looking down as she kept ironing. That's when my uncle knew something was off. He knew something was very wrong here. He rushed back upstairs to his room, locked the door, turned off the lights, and tried to go back to sleep.
This family is crazy.
He tried to forget about it and woke up again a few hours later. It was around 10 a.m. in the morning when he talked to my mother and my sister about what happened. They said they were asleep the whole night, and they don't recall waking up at 4 a.m.
I'd be like, so y'all were
My
sleepwalking?
uncle was so shocked about what he had just experienced. Someone was copying my mother and sister earlier that morning.
What if it was them and they were just
I was so
sleepwalking?
scared at that time.
Sleep ironing?
I became so
Some
paranoid
people
that I might
sleepwalk
feel
and
or
do
see
stuff.
something odd in our house, but I tried not to think about it too much. The night after that situation, my uncle woke up at around 3 a.m.
Oh,
The
wishing
witching
He
hour.
felt something at the end of his
Yeah, the
bed,
witching hour.
and he saw
So
a
say the sweet
woman with long hair sitting there.
Momo?
My uncle froze for a while. He didn't know what to do. He was
Momo.
trembling when he said, "Go away." My uncle hid under his blankets. After a few minutes, which felt like hours, he looked at the same spot where he saw the woman, and she was gone.
Time for you to get your own place.
My uncle slept with the lights on that night.
Can't blame
After
you.
that experience, he thankfully didn't experience anything like it
Look at
ever
them
again.
feet.
Whose feet are those?
That's supposed to be the
Look at
ghost. You know how they
them
put like little teasers. Oh, Bloody Mary. I ain't
remember when
never.
that happened and people were like,
One
don't do
day,
it
I
in the
was
mirror.
on my
I
way
did
back
it.
from a
I
school
wanted to
party.
see. I wanted to, because people were like, don't do it in the dark. Like, you're supposed to like turn around in front of a mirror and stuff with the lights off. I did that.
Crazy
So I wasn't
ass nigga
scared.
could
I
have
was like,
died, Jazzy.
man, screw Bloody Mary. I was like, this sounds like it's stupid. I turned around. I'm still here. I didn't die.
Okay, maybe that explains all the ghosts.
For real.
Party. I was with my friends.
I'll react to the video too,
Keep in
y'all.
mind, I was
I
only
just
20 years
scrolled.
old. We were drunk, so we really didn't know where our Uber driver was taking us.
Oh no!
He took us through this road called Sonol in California.
Oh my God.
And
He's gonna take
everyone in the
advantage of
car
that.
knew this road had a very upsetting story behind it. We didn't care, since we were all drunk. And it was 3 a.m. We just wanted to go home. At what seemed like the end of the ride, the driver stopped at the side of the road and let in this girl.
Why she ran
She
nobody
sat in the
dress?
back seat of the car. She claimed her name was Mary. All of
Mary.
our hearts dropped when we saw she had a dress on.
This Uber X or something?
Uber pool.
It
Right.
was a white dress.
Save money.
Okay.
She also claimed that her husband dumped her on her wedding night. She said she was trying to find a ride for 3 hours, but she couldn't since it was too dark outside. When I got a good look at her, I was shaking because she was tearing up blood.
What?
Here, I don't have time to go.
I whispered
Are you
to my
sure?
good friend Dominic. I told him about the Bloody Mary story. I told him that it took place on this very road and that the girl might be a ghost. Right as I finished that sentence, she looked at me through the rearview mirror
Oh
with
my
her bright,
God.
white
Scared.
eyes and asked us if we were talking about her.
Yes.
My heart dropped once again. We asked the guy to pull over, but he insisted on dropping us off at our location.
He's like, I gotta
One
get
of my
this money.
female friends in the car started crying after Mary started reciting all of our names from the back of the car.
Oh my God.
We were scared because we didn't tell her our names. Now everyone in the car was crying except for me. It felt like we were driving forever, but it had only been 10 minutes.
That's still a long
It got
time. for
brighter out,
something.
and we realized that no one was in the back. It
She
was
was
a night
gone.
spirit that was there, and it left because it was now morning.
So what did the driver have to say
The
about
next
it?
morning, I thought about what happened while I was taking a shower. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a scratch on my neck.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I
I
saw
saw
the
the
demon.
demon.
True horror.
Oh no.
When I was 8 years old, I used to live in my grandma's house in Ecuador.
Oh, they go
Lord.
that
Many
same
of the
grandma.
neighbors would talk to my parents
Ain't
about
it?
seeing weird
Oh,
stuff
no.
in the house, like shadows moving around the
Yeah.
windows when we weren't home. The first thing that would come to our heads was that someone must have broken into the house,
Tuh.
but nothing would ever be missing. Of course,
Point.
they didn't think that there was someone breaking in. They were sure that our house was haunted. Everyone even refused to come inside for parties or any other special occasion.
I'm sorry.
They
I'm
tended to
sorry.
get a-
We be laughing a lot. I know this is supposed to be like horror, but it's just like we
The
have such
face
a
expressions.
fun personality that like when we see little stuff like that, like the face, like
It's just funny
Like-
because like it's like the way they animate it. It's like the way they animate it. It's like his head. It's like, oh, they don't ever want to come in. He like,
right.
like no.
And then we think of ourselves in that situation like we'll be the same way. But like, oh no.
Like, no, you got it.
You got that. Like
You got it.
And to get rid of any bad spirits. We didn't take their warnings as something important because my parents don't believe in those kinds of things. Although I would
He's
hear
like, "You
someone
should."
going up the stairs at night. Our stairs were really
Oh,
old, so they
no.
would make a loud sound when someone would step on them.
Mm,
However,
that's it.
when I checked, there was nothing. I would just run to my bed and cover my head with the sheets until I fell asleep. One night, someone started knocking on the door really hard and
Here we go.
screaming.
Oh no.
We got really scared as it was 12:30 a.m. and everyone was asleep by then in our neighborhood. It was extremely rare that someone would be up at that time. My dad took his shotgun and told my mom and me to
There
stay
you
in
go.
my
He got it
room
right on
and
the
not
wall
move.
too.
I was scared for my dad's safety, but I felt relieved when my dad said my neighbor's name. He informed us that a water pipe had broke in our backyard and the water was spraying his house and broke one of his windows.
Oh.
oh man.
He was nice about the situation and even said he'd help us fix the pipe.
Okay. Good.
My dad got the shovels as the pipes were underground and we had to dig to see what was wrong and how we could fix it.
Oh, you're gonna.
As we
fix it
started
yourself.
digging,
What?
we realized that they needed
Oh.
other materials and they went to
I
get
wouldn't
it,
be doing that.
leaving me alone in the
I
backyard.
mean, it is expensive.
There was barely any light back there.
Oh
The
no.
only source of light we had was the moon and one light post a block away from my house.
Ain't no
I don't like
way.
I
those
was
neighborhoods
pissed
that
off.
barely has
I
street
mean, how could they
No.
leave an 8-year-old boy there by himself in the dark? But I didn't say anything
Why
about
don't you
it.
just go back in the house?
Should went back
About
in the
10
house.
minutes had
Whoa.
gone by since they left, and I was wondering what was taking them so long. They were only
10
getting
minutes.
some materials after all.
10 minutes is a long
But
time.
Right.
as I was going to go back inside, I saw something moving really
Flash?
fast at the corner of my
What
eye.
the?
I froze. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. I wanted to scream, but I
Look,
couldn't.
look.
Oh
All I could do was move my eyes. I started to freak out.
Oh
no. Is that
no.
the demon
oh, no.
flash?
Oh no.
I didn't see
No.
anything. It was as if there was nothing there at all. But then I looked to my right, and I saw something that haunts me to this very day. It was a demon, in my opinion. It was so tall, around 7 or 8 feet tall. It had long, skinny legs with a really buff body. It also had very long spiral horns, and his eyes shined in the dark. I still
I'm dead.
The thing ran by me, looked at me, but it didn't do anything to me. It
Take
just
me, Lord.
looked at me. It could have been a goat or a sheep. I've never seen one so big or one that walks on 2 legs like a human. It ran, and I hid behind a big tree by my neighbor's house. Finally, I could move. I yelled at the top of my lungs while crying hysterically. My dad came running with his shotgun in hand and asked me what was wrong.
Good job.
I explained what I saw to him, but he didn't believe me, nor did my mom. But someone did. My neighbor told me that he thought nothing happened to me because I'm a kid. As time passed, I slowly got over it. I moved from that house and
So if
moved
you're
to
an
New
adult,
York.
it did something to you?
My grandparents sold the house, and I left that experience in the past. However, that's not where this story ends.
Whoa.
In my sophomore year in high school,
he's getting
I
older.
had a nightmare. The thing that I saw that night was in it this time. I could only see its head as it was hiding behind a big tree. He said 3 words that'll haunt me until my time comes. It said, "You can't hide." I woke up from my nightmare and headed to school. While in school, at around 12:30 p.m., there was an announcement. A classmate of mine had been killed in front of my school by a car without brakes. I turned pale as I thought my nightmare may have something to do with the incident. I was
Now he
scared
thinks he's the cause
and
of it?
even went home early.
Oh no.
I told my parents about it, but
They
this
didn't
time they
believe you?
took me to a priest. And
Oh,
he
they're
said
gonna
he could do
exercise
something in 3
They need
days.
Jesus for that.
Every single day I had the same nightmare until my priest gave me a blessed cross.
Oh my gosh.
And I haven't had any nightmares about the thing anymore.
Good.
However, every night I sleep with the covers over my head. Call me a coward or anything you want, but the thing still hasn't left my mind. Those 3
You can't call
words
you a
haunt
coward
me to
facing
this
that.
day,
Oh, my
making me wonder
goodness.
when I will forget or move on from the thing.
That's like insidious.
Almost died.
By a serial killer?
About 10 to
How?
12 years
No.
ago, I was a drug addict living in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
I usually spent my days smoking, drinking, and I
That
was
deep
usually
voice don't
up
help.
to no good.
Them kicks to the
I
Beating
would
up
go with
people.
whoever had the drugs, basically. One day, my friend and I were talking with this guy, and he said he had some dope on him,
Oh.
and he invited us to his house.
Don't do drugs, y'all.
Don't do
It wasn't
drugs.
the first time I've seen him invite women over to his house to smoke and do other drugs. He seemed nice, but I didn't feel comfortable going with him, but
But you wanted
I was.
the drugs.
then I saw another friend across the street, so I went over there to her. After that, I went home,
But your
and
friend
my
did.
friend went with him.
Oh no, you gotta
The
take your
next
friend
day.
too.
His house was surrounded by police and
Oh.
news cameras.
To
I didn't know why, but my friend ended up telling me that when they were in his house, this guy, Anthony, punched her in the back of her head.
Oh my god.
Choked her. Then she woke up in a bed. She said next to the bed, she saw a woman's body with no head attached. But she decided not to scream because he was asleep right next to her.
Wait, what? But how did
She
she?
ended up crawling and getting out of the house. Literally running out of the house, barely clothed. He ended
Oh
up
my
calling the
goodness.
police. Eventually, they found 11 bodies of 11 different women in and around his house.
dang.
How?
Who would have known that man was a serial killer?
Wow.
His name was Anthony Sowell.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so glad that my other friend caught my attention right before I was going to his house. Who knows? I could have been one of those bodies.
Ooh. Oh my lord. Oh my god.
Bruh.
I like that. Yeah,
No
that
jump
might have
scare.
scared me. Fine, so used to jump scares.
Nice
Boy,
try.
insane
A few years
neighbor.
back,
Don't
I
do
rented
drugs,
an
y'all.
apartment from a
Don't do
friend of
drugs.
mine. He had recently bought it and had it completely
yeah,
renovated.
There we go.
He put it up for sale but couldn't find a buyer, so I offered to rent it in the meantime. After moving in, I realized there was something wrong with the lady next door. She was about 45, but looked much older.
Hey,
She
some
would sit
people
up all night listening to Christian radio shows and talking loudly to someone. It got to the point where I couldn't sleep,
It's like different animation
so I went
too.
over to
I
her
know.
place and asked her to keep it down. She opened her door and I got a quick peek. Her walks all had crosses painted on them
Oh,
in different
no.
colors, and words like Jesus and angels scribbled everywhere. The windows were
Trying to
painted
protect
black,
herself from
letting
something.
in no light at all. It was damp, yellow-stained 50-year-old carpets, dog shit and cockroaches
Ooh.
everywhere. No dog though.
That's how that road run.
The dog is dead.
I asked her to please keep it down. She just looked at me and shut the door. Then she turned up the radio even louder.
Oh,
This
okay.
day I had my girlfriend
Right.
staying over. I wake up in the middle of the night and see a shadow of a person next to the bed looking at us sleeping. I think I'm hallucinating,
Get
as I
out.
usually do in
Is
the
that a
dark
drill?
when I'm
That
sleeping.
is a drill.
But then the shadow starts talking.
Oh my god. Oh my.
It's
How
my
did you
neighbor,
get in?
and she's holding something in her hand.
How did you get in?
I know. She drilled in.
She broke in during the night, and who knows how long she stood there.
Oh my god.
You should lock your door at night.
She says and walks out.
Maybe it was lost. Why do you have to drill? You
The
did.
next morning, I hear someone making strange noises below my bedroom window. It's my neighbor, talking to herself in tongue.
Okay. Yep.
In
She
tongue?
has a plastic bag in her hand,
Y'all can't report
with her
this?
rotting, dead dog inside.
Not the
It's hot
dog.
as hell outside, and I can smell death from the bag.
Okay. This is time to
See,
move.
now I was joking when
At
I
this
said the dog
point,
is dead, but the
I'm
dog
scared
is dead.
shitless. She's obviously very insane. I go upstairs and knock on another person's door and ask what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The guy is as scared as me. Apparently, she broke into his apartment one evening as well.
What?
Get
He was
out.
watching TV with his kids.
What?
He got up from the couch to get a snack, only to find her behind the couch staring at him.
Oh
Uh,
my
No.
god. Girl.
No.
At this stage,
Girl.
I'm basically shitting myself. I call the cops,
Thank
and
you.
they know all about her.
What?
What y'all doing?
Apparently, she's a violent schizophrenic, and she hasn't taken her meds. But they can't force her or enter her apartment without permission, because she owns it. The only thing they can do is get her when she goes outside.
Ooh, a stakeout.
I sit up for the next 2 days, waiting for her to run out of cigarettes.
And then,
When I hear her
Wait
leave
for her
at
to
2
leave.
a.m.
Go
to
get her,
go
go get her.
across the road to the 7-Eleven, I call the cops.
like, go now.
They
We
have
move.
3 cars and a special van over in less than
Got
2 minutes.
Mm.
They restrain her and throw her in the van and drive off to some institution.
I was about to say, she needs to go
And in
to
less than a
somewhere.
minute, it's like she was never there.
Wow.
I never see her again,
good.
but I still have nightmares about her looking at me in my sleep.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
no, no. All right, we're gonna end it right here.
See,
No.
so I'm happy to live in a house now and in an apartment.
I know.
Oh my god.
I think that was the best one. That one, I'm gonna say that one. The demon one was like, cool, like
The
really
demon one
did
reminded
that.
me of Insidious. a little
Right?
bit.
Yeah.
It kinda did.
He reminded me like the demon Flash. He was like, I was like, dang, this demon
All I know is that
fast.
if our children, future children, tell us about they seen something or they see a ghost or something, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you didn't see that.
I'm gonna say step
I
one.
will look.
Go get a priest, holy water.
That's the first thing. We're not gonna go check it out first.
We gonna check it out. No, I
Okay.
don't know. It's between. I don't know. What would you do? Would you get a priest or would you go get that?
I would get something to defend myself and
the
my
Glocks.
children.
We got the Glocks ready.
Yeah, get one of those. Or if I can't
You
get
gonna
that,
shoot a
get
ghost,
like
Jasmine?
get an I don't know something salt. I get a little salt shaker
Okay.
so that we can do like a little
Oh,
salt
salt
circle.
circle? Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
and tell the kids to stay in that.
I would
That's
get
while
crazy.
we go somewhere
All right.
and go look
We're
for
gonna go to a
them. And
hotel
then-
tonight.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If
I'm
I
saying
experience
next
a thing, I'll be
morning,
like, pack it up, kiddos. We gotta go.
confident priest.
Like, look, like we're gonna go somewhere fun, okay? We're gonna go to another hotel that has like a nice little arcade in it. Just have a nice little night.
Yeah,
okay,
bring the PS4 with you.
Then I'm gonna nothing
Nice
to know
box,
what we're doing.
right.
Bring your games. Bring your homework.
Yep. Yeah, you still got homework to do.
Then we're good.
I don't care if Sally's was haunting you.
Should I ask Sally to do your homework? Should I ask her to do it?
Right, that paper. That's how our parents would have been.
Why you here?
Our parents would have been. I don't care, Sally. You should tell the ghost to go. She gonna ground the ghost.
Right.
Sally, why you ain't?
Like the ghost could have helped you with your math.
Come here, Sally, and grab the ghost by the ear. Help her.
Like give the ghost a pencil.
Right.
You're like, oh.
What's it? Ghost with the 1814? I don't know this math.
I don't know.
Why is there X's in the twos? I don't.
He's like, I ain't coming here no more.
No, you gonna be back here on Tuesday. We gonna figure it out because we got shit in the afterlife. Let me stop. All right, we're done. Anyway, guys, comment below. Let us know what you think.
We get like
Subscribe. And support.